It can go without saying that 2020 has been a completely unexpected year. Because of a new disease called SARS-CoV-2, or COVID-19, our world has changed as we know it. Schools are closed, businesses are shutting down, and there are new regulations set in place for gatherings. But the most significant consequence of all is that over 1 million people have lost their lives to this virus. It is truly a shame that no one knows precisely how COVID-19 negatively affects the human body. Until now.
Hello, my name is Gwendolyn Grimmick. I'm a student at Johnston Community College, and this is my honors experience project. My mentor was Dr. Justin Bradshaw. COVID-19 is a big deal in general, but this virus personally hits home for me. A majority of my family is considered to be high risk for contracting the virus, and I also know friends and classmates that have gotten sick. Before starting my honors experience project, I was curious and confused on how COVID-19 affected the body. That's where my project comes in. My honors project is to research the short and long-term sequelae of SARS-CoV-2 and present my findings in an accessible way. I will now take you throughout the process of my honors experience project. Each step of my project was called a deliverable.
My first deliverable consisted of meeting with my mentor, Dr. Justin Bradshaw. During this meeting, Dr. Bradshaw helped me determine the goals of my project. My first goal was to find out general information about SARS-CoV-2, basically what the news has told the public, in order to give my audience a better understanding about what SARS-CoV-2 actually is. Then, my second goal was to find out how SARS-CoV-2 affects each human body system. Finally, my third goal was to organize my information and present my research. I had initially chosen to present my findings in a PowerPoint because it was what I was most comfortable using. However, Dr. Bradshaw suggested that I create an infographic. I agree. The infographic was a better suited way to present my project. By using an infographic, my project will have less of a lecture feel, it will be more accessible, and my audience can look only at the information that they need. For my second deliverable, my goal was to find scientific resources for each anatomical system and complete my research for general SARS-CoV-2 information. I found each of my 24 resources through an online database called PubMed. I was able to find communication papers, patient case reports, journal entries, research studies, and review articles. A majority of my references also include images, figures, and tables to expand on their information. Not only was I successful in finding sources for all 10 body systems and general SARS-CoV-2 data, but I was also able to find an article explaining SARS-CoV-2's impact on fetal development. I had one source dedicated to overall SARS-CoV-2 data. SARS-CoV-2 is short for Severe Acute Respiratory Syndrome Coronavirus 2 and was first recorded in December 2019. Leading to my third deliverable, I found out how SARS-CoV-2 negatively affects the integumentary system, both the male and female reproductive systems, and fetal development. I referenced one source for fetal development, 2 for the integumentary system, and 2 for the reproductive system. While researching fetal development, I learned that SARS-CoV-2 has more of a substantial impact on a pregnant woman's immune system and that it can lead to fetal death. For the integumentary system, SARS-CoV-2 can cause lesions to form all over the body. For the reproductive system, while it does infect the male testes, it has not yet been discovered in the female system. My fourth deliverable consisted on researching how SARS-CoV-2 targets the digestive, musculoskeletal, nervous, and respiratory systems. I utilized 2 sources for digestive research, 3 for musculoskeletal, 4 for nervous, and 1 for respiratory. I learned so much when researching these body systems. SARS-CoV-2 can cause gastrointestinal damage, especially in the small and large intestines, and in the liver, seen by abdominal pain, vomiting, and diarrhea. SARS-CoV-2 can weaken and break down the bones, cartilage, joints, and tissues in the musculoskeletal system. The brain is one of the main targets of SARS-CoV-2, and extreme long-term neurological effects include convulsive seizures, epilepsy, paralysis, and strokes. As SARS-CoV-2 is primarily a respiratory disease, it first targets the respiratory system. Because of the lung's large surface area, the virus can replicate and grow at a fast rate, and it works towards causing respiratory failure. During my fifth deliverable, I researched how SARS-CoV-2 inflicts consequences on the cardiovascular, endocrine, lymphatic, and urinary systems. This deliverable was the last portion of my research, and I found 2 sources regarding the cardiovascular system, 2 for the endocrine system, 1 for the lymphatic system, and 3 for the urinary system. SARS-CoV-2 can result in reduced blood flow to the heart, and even cardiac arrest and failure. A long-term effect of SARS-CoV-2 on the body's endocrine system is subacute thyroiditis, which can be seen through thyroid dysfunction. SARS-CoV-2 can enlarge and rupture the spleen and can also cause the body's lymph nodes to eat other cells. Finally, recent studies show that SARS-CoV-2 directly affects the kidney, resulting in kidney dysfunction, decreased urinary output, and damage to renal tissue.
After I finished finding the short and long-term sequelae for those body systems, I had completed all of my research. However, before I could get started on my infographic, I had a little bit of housekeeping to do.
First, I composed 4 sentences for each topic of my research from my notes. These are the sentences that I would be including in my infographic. I then created an annotated bibliography of my 24 sources in a Google document, published the document as a website, and linked the URL to a QR code. The QR code will be on my infographic, and it is an easy and simple way to provide my audience with my resources. It is now time for Deliverable 6, the last step in completing my honors project. During this part, I created my infographic. I first started by including the title of my honors project, SARS-CoV-2 Short and Long-Term Sequelae, along with my name, college, and presentation date. Underneath, I created the general SARS-CoV-2 section, including an image of what the virus looks like in my 4 sentences. Having this section helps introduce my audience to the topic. Then, I created a section for each body system with their images and their 4 sentences. I included an image of the human body to further support how my project focuses on human anatomy. In the bottom right, I added the QR code so that my audience has access to my resources.
By participating in the JCC Honors Experience program this semester, I have gained a better, in-depth understanding of what COVID-19 is and how it affects the body. I can conclude that SARS-CoV-2 causes both short and long-term sequelae on every part of the body. Now that you have learned about COVID-19 and its negative effects, you too have the ability to keep yourself and others safe.